Welcome back, my nieces and nephews, to another episode of Fun Uncle, where I'm dishing out cold, hard slaps of truth like my life depends on it. And boy, oh boy, do we have a fun one for you today. We have an episode chock full of information today as YouTube doubled down on NFT integration. Premier League is set for a deal worth as much as $400 million. NBA Top Shot to auction NFTs. They grant 5 years of VIP All-Star access. Snoop Dogg's new purchase, Death Row Records, will be an NFT label. Grand Theft Auto is convinced by NFT opportunity. Steve Aoki says he's made more money with NFTs than he did in 10 years of music. The first restaurant in Italy to use NFTs, and South Korea University to issue NFT diplomas for all of its graduates. But first, we got to talk about today's title theme. It's Invisible Friends, one of the most hyped NFT projects right now. You can't turn or look anywhere in the NFT space without hearing about Invisible Friends, and I think this project is about to pop. Invisible Friends is a gift-style NFT dropping next week on February 23rd. It consists of 5,000 unique NFTs, and it's minting for 0.25 ETH a piece. The Invisible Friends project artwork is quite remarkable. You can tell that the artists and the team really put in the time and the love into every one of these friends. The community is also quite supportive, and there's a great deal of discussion around this project right now. Upon hearing about this mint price, fans took to Twitter upset that they were priced out, saying, wow, it's getting crazy now. $721 to mint. The fun is slowly getting sucked out of NFTs. I guess only the wealthy will be able to mint this one. However, other fans took to Twitter and said, I'll buy as many Invisible Friends you have right now at 1 ETH. Sell me all you want. This is ridiculously cheap for the product they have. It could easily sell out for 2 ETH each. Invisible Friends is part of the Random Character Collective, a broad animated NFT initiative. Invisible Friends is the third project from this initiative, Slim Hoods being the first project, and then Mood Rollers being the second project. I mean, this artwork, it really catches your eye. Every single one of them has something special going on in the details. They're so colorful and vibrant, even down to like the different sunglasses. He's got a cigar in his mouth. This alligator's tripping on acid. I mean, every single one of these was handcrafted specific to the theme it was trying to convey, from the worker to the detective, or maybe even the spy. What would you call that? But anyways, you know, every single one has a unique kind of personality to it. And as I'm looking at the art, I'm thinking to myself, this kind of reminds me of Doug a little bit. You know, when I look at the shoes, you know, the shoes kind of look the same. The clothing and how the clothing fits looks like kind of the puffy Doug look. But then you also have that Mickey Mouse four-fingered white-handed glove look going on there. But all in all, pretty cool. I really like this, and I would really want to pick Marcus's brain. He was the key brainchild artist who came up with this project, so big shout out to him. Follow him on Twitter if you haven't already. And I bet you anything, he's of the age group where the Doug animatics played a huge role in his creative process. And so now we're seeing the Web3 rendition of that artwork, and it looks pretty cool. Another sign that a project is doing really, really well is you see a bunch of copycats. So when you go to OpenSea, you'll see what looks like Invisible Friends, but they're not available yet. You know, these are just a bunch of copycats. I mean, some of these people are selling their minting spot, so it's, you know, you don't know what, but they're jacking up the price like crazy on it. But that's when you know a project is got something behind it, where people are willing to copycat, steal it, sell the price before it's even live. Content not available yet. That really makes you raise an eyebrow. But you see here that like delisted, 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 delisted. I mean, that's how you know this project is popular, because people are trying to copy it. And obviously, OpenSea can't keep up with it. There are numerous Invisible Friends here. There's Invisible Friends here. And it looks like they might have just done a little bit of right-click saving and then reposting it. But thankfully, the leadership over there is finding these bad actors, and they are delisting them before they get sold or tarnish the valuable name of Invisible Friends. I mean, look at this. I'm still scrolling and look at all the ones that got delisted. So this is how you really know you got something cool, when people are willing to copy you like this. Of course, imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. And you got to admit right here that this many people are trying to copy you. You must have something good. Overall, this is a project you definitely want to look out for, because when you pair colorful art like this with a diehard fan base, you have a project that is about to pop. It's at this point I gotta ask you to please do me a kindness, hit the like button, smash the subscribe if you haven't already. Tell me what you think of the content down in the comments below. I got thick skin. Tell me what you didn't like, and I will keep generating this hot good gravy for you on a regular basis. And now we can diggity-riggity ding-dong into the NFT news, starting with this first story here. YouTube doubles down on NFT integration. Well, yeah, of course, you got to catch up. You know, NFTs are taking over Twitter. Facebook is doing Meta and its metaverse movement. There are all kinds of NFT influencers and key opinion leaders like myself parading into the YouTube space. So of course they got to start catching up, start doubling down on the NFT integration, because it ain't going nowhere anytime soon. The Premier League is about to do an NFT deal worth as much as 434 million euros. Holy dingleberry souffle. What is the translation of that in USD? What is that, like $500-600 million? Well, you know what? It don't friggin' matter, because we ain't gonna be using dollar or euro anymore. It's gonna be all Bitcoin, baby, from here on out. So forget about doing any of this exchange rate nonsense. It's gonna be Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it looks like the European Union is going to be leading the charge on it. They keep quadrupling down at every turn with these bad boys. And so these collectibles will be another massive moneymaker for the European Union. And us in the United States, we really got to start playing a little catch up on this. Europe is running around us and scoring some goals on us. And Pele, soccer puns, in an NBA Top Shot to auction NFTs that grant 5 years of VIP All-Star game access. What really struck my G-string was when they said $900 million in secondary market trading volume to date. Are you kidding me? This is massive. This is just more proof that it's an unstoppable force, that everyone's going to get in on this. If you haven't already, you're behind, is what I think's going on here. Snoop Dogg, if you remember his big old performance during the big game with the Totino pizza rolls, well, he was out there in halftime dancing and shaking his booty up there. And you got to ask yourself, what are these billionaires doing shaking their dang thing for dollar bills at the halftime show? Well, it's because they're trying to sell their NFTs, baby. Better believe it. Snoop Dogg is deep fisting into the metaverse space, and he's quadrupling down by making his new purchase, Death Row Records, will be an NFT label. So what you can surmise from that is that all new audio recordings released by Death Row Records will be paired on the blockchain in NFT form, which is just again, the theme here is this an unstoppable force. Even though the markets are down right now, don't be down, because there are big players making $100 million moves in the NFT space, just like the diggity riggity ding dong dog here. And you know that the halftime show is just another publicity push to help him with his, other assets and revenue generating devices, such as his NFT propagation, which, holy shit, he's going big style on it. The next one is Grand Theft Auto game publisher is highly convinced by NFT opportunity. You know what I'm highly convinced about? For you guys to get back to work on Grand Theft Auto 6. Quit wasting time with this. Ooh, well, now we're thinking about doing NFTs. No, you have a game you need to finish. Grand Theft Auto 5 has been out for so long that it's been across 3 different consoles. PlayStation 3, 4, and 5 have all played Grand Theft Auto 5 on it, and you were just twiddling your thumbs with Grand Theft Auto 6. No, get back to work. Stop diddly-dallying and adding new features to things and trying to go down new avenues when you still have food on your plate. You're gonna have to eat that. You're gonna have to finish that food either right now or in the morning. Can't keep getting dessert until you finish your broccoli. That's how I think about the Grand Theft Auto publishers. Sorry about that. God, I had to get on my soapbox and say that. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk, guys. The next one is Steve Aoki says he's made more money with NFTs than from 10 years of music advances. Well, the cold hard truth for you, Steve Aoki, is your music's not that great. Okay, you know Taylor Swift, all right? There's no emotional ethos to your lyrics. There are no lyrics. And most of your performances are you just pressing play on a playlist and dancing on stage, messed up on drugs, possibly with your shirt off. And I've seen you eating cake sometimes. Makes sense you haven't made much advances in your music career, but nevertheless, it looks like you've made a buttload of money on NFTs, which are now $32,000 a piece. So, kudos to you. Your music sucks, but you're doing something right. You got a team of people around you that are helping you out, and so props to you. Props to you, bud. First restaurant in Italy to use NFTs. This is more proof in the pudding that the European Union is leaving us in the dust when even their restaurants are pulling out NFTs. And so this just tells me two things. One, America's kind of behind the 8 ball on NFTs. But two, every restaurant, every store, even flower shops will have NFTs in the future. In the same way, whenever websites were coming around, we would scoff at the idea that, like, really a dog washing shop needs a website, or your mom's bridge game needs a website. Like, none of those things will happen. But then they become so easy to make and propagate so vastly that, yes, they will at some point. And if you're not getting in now, you're kind of behind the ball. So I would start fondling those balls and getting the NFT game while you can. The knife is pretty hot and things are sizzling. And my last piece of news here is how South Korea's university to issue NFTs to all of its graduates. They're doing the diploma, of course, is going to be an NFT form to improve access for administrative services, to prevent forgery, and also, you want to pivot away from using paper, and this is a better way to go about it. Make it something digital. It's stored in the cloud. You can access it anytime. It's securable on the blockchain, and it is almost impossible to hack. So I think this is great news for the NFT space in general. Well, it wouldn't be an episode of Fun Uncle without some crypto news, and we're starting with the Super Bowl right out of the gate, as that Coinbase ad had 280% spike in its downloads. You guys remember the QR code Coinbase ad that really caught everybody's attention. Like, they did it right. They made it a really long one. They got the 60-second version, cost them $7 million per 30-second chunk, so $14 million in total, and a QR code that stood out because it wasn't a cinematic film. It didn't have any big all-star actors. It was just a QR code for you to scan. And for one, it was marketing brilliance because it really caught our attention and made us get up off our couches and scan it to figure out what it was. But secondarily, it kind of missed the mark because most people who scan QR codes with their cell phones already know about Bitcoin and probably already own some Bitcoin. You don't see a lot of baby boomers, scanning QR codes or even really knowing what they are. And so I think they might have missed the mark just a little bit on that avenue. But other than that, they did spike 280%. They're estimating that they're probably going to make $36 million off of the amount of new users they got. So they're definitely going to make their money back on the Super Bowl commercial. But huge news, nevertheless, that it really was the crypto bowl. Cryptocurrencies took over the Super Bowl, and it means it's a force to be reckoned with, like it's coming in hot. American truckers are planning a convoy to Washington. The group raises over $100K. If you guys don't know about this, there was a convoy of truckers that are blocking an access way between Canada and America. They're doing so because of the vaccine mandate in Canada. And so they're saying, okay, well, if you're not going to placate to the truckers, the truckers are just going to stop driving. And you know what? They're going to take it one step further, and they're going to blockade one of the major thoroughfares between U.S. and Canada with their massive trucks. And it's gotten to the point now where Canada has had to file an emergency decision to freeze all of the bank accounts for these truckers so that they will be starved out and they have to give up their protest at a certain point. Kind of fascist that government has that amount of control over you. And what's more is that GoFundMe had a $10 million raise. People put in $10 million into GoFundMe to help support these truckers, and GoFundMe brick-walled it, stonewalled Jacksoned them, and would not let them get any of that $10 million. You know what I thought the whole time? This looks pretty good for Bitcoin. Bitcoin isn't going to freeze on you. There isn't some tyrannical government that's going to shut down your account on you. If someone gives you $10 million of Bitcoin, it's going to go to you. There is not going to be some intermediary, middleman who can Stonewall Jackson that money coming your way. And so I think this is just great news for Bitcoin. If people want to protest in the future, they're going to know that the only way to do it is with some kind of cryptocurrency. Stop using the government's money to protest against the government. They're trying to have more control over you. And Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, calls Canada's use of banks to stifle protesters dangerous. I agree. If you keep locking people out of their money, they will uprise. They will turn on you. You want to keep us happy. We are the ones who really run the government, not you. And Charles Hoskins says that Canada is a fascist regime for what they're doing. I believe so too. This is very tyrannical. You should not have this kind of control over your citizens. And what's more is you should hear them out. When you have enough citizens complaining about something, enough who can shut down your economic trade, that's when you should start listening. You shouldn't start putting more stricter mandates on people who are already pissed. It's time to shut up and listen. And so I think Canada is completely missing the mark. I had a lot of respect for Canada, and they're definitely dropping the ball on this one. So a country I do have a lot of pride on is El Salvador, as their Bitcoin bonds get an extra $5 billion infusion. They've got $1 billion already in the sidelines, ready to go. And this is just exciting news that there are whole countries buying the dip right now. So if you are fearful of the recent price action in Bitcoin and overall cryptocurrency markets, then you're missing the point. This country is buying the dip. A country, massive organizations, Tesla, billion-dollar institutions, hedge funds are all buying Bitcoin and are buying this dip. Not financial advice, but you should be too. Not financial advice. U.S. Senator Cynthia Lumen says the Federal Reserve should buy Bitcoin. Yes, they should. It's a great hedge against inflation. Not financial advice, but you as users should be doing the same. I think that it will be a part of every person's portfolio in the future, and America in many ways is behind the eight ball on this one. Brazilian asset manager Hashdex launches DeFi and ETF on local stock exchange. So countries, again, just like El Salvador, Brazil is just like, oh, of course we got to get in on this. Like, and then Cynthia is just like, hey, maybe we should consider it, while Brazil and El Salvador are already like billions of dollars deep into it. And the U.S. government is still just twiddling their thumb, just like, maybe we should possibly consider it. Maybe when you have some time, next in between planning the next insurrection, maybe we should get some Bitcoin on the line. I don't know. And then Sequoia Capital is looking to raise $600 million for a new crypto fund. It's never $60 or $600,000 or $6 million. It's always hundreds of millions, if not billions, $5 billion that is going into cryptocurrencies, and sometimes all Bitcoin. And so the fact that these massive capital fund, VC fund, countries and you name it are getting into Bitcoin, that's some pretty good news. That's some pretty good long-term news that I am licking my chops over right now. And Bitcoin is now ready to surge, according to crypto analyst Nicholas Merton. I agree with you. I think this is the bottom. We have been just dragging our buns across the ocean floor for a while now, testing to find out where the real bottom is. And I kind of just at this point now, we're like, if it was going to drop to 20,000, it would have done so already. Like if there were enough paper hands that had been FOMO'd out, they would have been shooken out by now. I feel like the market at this point is mostly people who have a long-term mindset on this and are putting their money where their mouth is and are just going to lock it up. And then you also have to take into consideration like how many people have their money put into staking, like ETH 2.0 or Hex or any of the other assets on crypto.com where you can just stake it, lock it up. You can't touch it even if you wanted to, and they're paying you out a percentage on a weekly basis sometimes. And so I think that if it were going to drop, it would have already. Right now, it's just day traders and bots trying to scalp a little bit more money off the top and the bottom of people's trades. And then also, it's big organizations and exchanges trying to liquidate people who bought shorts or conversely bought longs. Pump it up if people bought shorts and then drop it down if people bought longs. But they're really starting to find out that there's a range. You can't dump it any further than this, and you can't pump it any further than this. So at some point, we're going to find out that this is the bottom. You can't drop it any further than this, and money will start to inflow again. Sentiment will change. More retail investors will hop in. People who have hundreds of millions of dollars who've been waiting for some kind of confirmation will go, oh, okay, finally we have confirmation. Let's buy. There are more people willing to miss out on a 20% gain just so they can confirm that the momentum is heading the way it's heading. So I think that's a lot of what's going on right now is people are just waiting to see what happens. And more often than not, people who try to time the market end up missing it completely as it shoots up when you least suspect it at like 3 a.m. When everyone's pants is around their ankle. So it's better just to daily cost average and be in the market ready to ride the wave when it happens. And if you're contemplating a sell right now because you're afraid it might go down further, well, the best thing to do is nothing. When you have no plan and you're not sure when, where, how, or why you're going to make back your losses, it's kind of best just to wait. Like if you don't have a plan, then don't act on emotion. Maybe that's the best piece of advice this old uncle could give anyone at this point right now is just wait. This too shall pass. And now we slip and slide on into my favorite part of the show, which is the LADZ City Lounge, where you're just kicking it with me, your neighborhood fun uncle, deep in the heart of LADZ City. We're building castles in the sky as big as our dreams, and it starts by hyping up this community. And if you're watching this show, you of course know about the YouTube page, where we have morsels on the reg about NFT news, etc. But if you could do me a favor right now and just hit the like, the comment, and the subscribe, and tell me what you think of the content, good, bad, the ugly. Let us know. We love seeing it. We want constant feedback so that we can build a better YouTube page. And we have content coming out almost daily, all about NFTs. And so this is the hub for NFTs. This is the place you want to be. And if you really want to be on the sharpest end of the cutting edge, then you want to join the Discord. Links are in the description down below if you want to get in on that, because this is where the magic's really happening, okay? This is where the rubber meets the road, where the brimstone is making diamonds, is here in the Discord. We're just hyping people up, on the regular, especially when the markets are kind of doom and gloom right now. It's nice to have this community, this tribe, our vibe, our tribe, hyping us up on the regular. And this is just one of many of the channels here. We got the main chat, NFT chat, gaming chat, it's happening here constantly. And we have 3,000 people in the Discord contributing on the regular. And so you're missing out. Honestly, I feel bad for people who aren't a part of the Discord. And a thing I like to do weekly is give out an award, the LADZ City Lad of the Week, to someone who has been moving the ball forward and helping us build a better LADZ City. And this week, I decided to put together a list of everyone who had won previously, which I hadn't done in a while. And as I was looking through the list, I was absolutely shocked to realize that Tigbo has never won LADZ City Lad of the Week. Dude, I am so sorry, man. I swore like early on you had won. It was like in my mind somewhere. I think he won when like I first started, like in the first couple weeks. I had this seed planted in my mind. But when I finally made the list, I was like, no way. I felt terrible that I hadn't. Honestly, you deserve it a million times over. Tigbo has been working behind the scenes forever on LADZ City as a producer. And recently, he has jumped up to the plate and has started co-hosting NFT Live. My main man, the Godfather, Q, Nifty Q on NFT Live. This is awesome, dude. Tigbo, thank you so much for doing this, my guy. Like, you deserve the LADZ City Lad of the Week 100 times over, man. Thank you for challenging yourself. I hope you're picking up VMix and like moving this ball forward. I want to pour gas on this fire, dude. Like, keep doing exactly what you're doing, my dude. But while I'm talking about the YouTube page, I also want to hype up my Art Start Now crew. Like, these are kings and queens in the NFT space. We are mere mortals in their presence. This triad of NFT artists have a show called Art Start Now that we are so lucky to have here on the LADZ City network. It's on Saturdays. It's the show that came on previous to mine, and you get to watch this one, Space Cowboy and TTO. I can't remember what that stands for. TT. You know what? We're going into it right here. TTTO. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's check this out. Let's do it right here. What is it? Oh, yeah. It's called, it's got a movie attached to it too. What is it called? Tales and Other Odysseys. Yeah, Tall Tales and Other Odysseys. Cool. We did a deep dive here live with me, the Fun Uncle, in the LADZ City Lounge. That's how we do it. We're lounging, we're just keeping it loungy. The next thing I want to talk about is their project, Witchy GF. So the Art Start Now crew has this NFT project called Nifty Castle, and under that umbrella is a new project, Witchy GF. The launch countdown has already begun. Of course, I'm covering it up. Join the witch list right now. I'm on the witch list, ready to get my witch. Their previous projects, DBs has sold out. The second iteration of DBs has sold out. There's conversations that the third one is about to sell out. And so this is a project you definitely want to get in on. Get on the witch list. The countdown has begun. Get your witch now. And I also want to hype up the Art Start Now crew. Check out their show every single Saturday, 1 p.m. here on the LADZ City network. And next up, I gotta hype up Louis C. Rhymes. Music Mondays is a show. It's coming out tomorrow, I think 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And dude, I love your energy, man. Seriously, you bring like a hype. It's like you're talking to an audience of 500 people, like kind of energy you have all the time. And I would love to emulate that. It's so enthusiastic and fun to listen to. Your show is Music Mondays, where you're talking about music and NFTs, people who are minting their new tracks on the blockchain via NFTs. And it's a new show every single Monday here on the LADZ City Network. And so thank you guys. Thank you so much, Louis C. Rhymes. And I want to thank Art Start Now. You got to check out the Witchy GF and Tigbo. I'm so sorry, man. You should have earned LADZ City Lad of the Week eons ago. You are a blessing, man. Thank you for everything you're doing. And you are our LADZ City Lad of the Week, my dude. Thank you. Well, that's the whole box of Cheddar Bay biscuits, my nieces and nephews. Thanks again for stopping by and watching this episode. Always, if you could do me a favor and just crush the like and the subscribe. Tell me what you think of the content down in the comments below. And then also check out my new Clips channel. The link is in the description. It is where you can see clips of Fun Uncle content from across all networks in one place. And also, keep your ear to the ground for the massive things that are taking place at Hard Fork Gaming in 2022. And then in closing, I want to give you an update on my NFT project, the Fun Uncle League Loungers. If you remember, it's 200 unique tropical themed NFTs that are chocked full of unlockable content. The most important update is the fourth riddle is now live. Inside of the unlockable content, I have 4 riddles. If you solve any one of those riddles and you're the first one to email me the answer, I will hit you with $100 in Ethereum right into your wallet. All you have to do is pick up an NFT, go to the unlockable content. The new riddle video is now live. First one to solve it, email with the answer. It's as easy as that. And most importantly, these NFTs are on sale. The prices are down right now. So the prices of NFTs have dropped, but the prizes have remained the same. I am an uncle of my word. And so I am dishing out $100 in Ethereum every time. The first 3 riddles have already been solved. The 4th one is live. I got 1 more after that. So get your riddles while you can, get your pineapples, your Fun Uncle League Loungers while you can. And if you think you have the chops to break one of my riddles, head on over to OpenSea today.